Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, sorry. It's interesting, isn't it? The way that this is happening. It's not going to the link that I scheduled, so people are gonna have to figure it out and come over here. Yes. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, sorry. It's interesting, isn't it? The way that this is happening. It's not going. Great. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear an echo? Well, hmm. Okay, you guys can hear, but is there still an echo? Right, I remember echo. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, can you hear me now? No echo? No echo. Great. Okay. Super interesting. It's still delay a little bit. Yes, no echo. Yes, you can hear you. Great. Okay. I'm just going to give it a minute here for people to come in because they have to find where I am. Okay. Just give it a minute here. Nice to see everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Technology is being very interesting. Okay, just give a few minutes because I know there were more people that were at the other link. So I'm gonna see if they can find where I am now. Okay, again, just give it a few minutes here. I'm just trying to see if everybody can come in. It's still over waiting. Ooh. Okay. How's everybody doing? Nice to see you. Hello, Kimberly, Ulva, Jeanette, Bridget, Carrie, Grace, Yasminka, Kimberly. Oh, it's just you again. Alwell, Bridget, Grace. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, nice to see you, Yasminka. Abby, hello. All right, Diane, that's right. You have Abby. That's funny. That's your alter ego. About that. Sorry. Oh, funny. Okay, let me just check here to see if there's people. There's still 8 people. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I think now people will come over. I was able to paste the link. Ah, it's okay. It's just a lot of energy, so it's all perfect. Trust in the process. Hello, Cheryl. Hmm. Few people. Has anyone come over from the other link that they were waiting? I'd like to know if people are knowing to come over to this link. Okay, good. Well, there's one. Let's see if others will figure it out. I can still see that there's a few people waiting on the other link. I'm just trying to get them to come over. Okay, good. Okay, good. Hmm. I will figure this out. I don't know what's happening. I know that there was some kind of an upgrade on the system that may have created something like this, but who knows? It's I guess it's wherever it's meant to be. I don't know. Sorry if you guys are short on time. I will start in just a minute here. I just still see 8 people that are sitting waiting on the other link. You guys are short on time. I will start in just. Okay. Ooh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start and see if people decide to come over. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. Um, I've been guided to, I will be starting this as a regular type um, coming online, and I'll figure out the schedule and the link, and it hopefully will be at the same time on a particular day so that you'll know, because I'm being guided to really teach about what's actually happening and the quantum field and what really took place. So I'm just going to go first a little bit deeper into what I had shared already about the about what's taken place and this idea of, source, which is thought. So we're talking about the quantum field here. And I think many of you here are pretty savvy and have some, I love the word understand, right? Understanding of the quantum field. But it may seem a little bit odd to you. And as you know, if you know me, I'm not arbitrarily talking to you. I'm in your energetic field. And because I'm fully awakened, I am my full avatar, Christos full body, then the level of frequency is much greater that's taking place here. It's probably why there's some interference. But anyway, so um, the idea of source being thought is that, the universe, that's what it's made of. That is the fabric of the universe itself is thought. And it just by itself, it's just thought. And so it's just lots of thought, lots of different thoughts, basically undulating together in this giant field. This is this quantum field. And source, in order for something to be created, there needs to be an expression of that thought to come out of this giant, massive, endless, no beginning, no end thought. So that's the idea of the first thought, and that is where my consciousness is from it is the first thought as creation of this whole experiment that's taking place. And as I've learned more, I've dived into a much clearer vision, and an understanding or understanding of what actually has kind of taken place. And why this is important to share is that if I am the I am that is, my consciousness is the first thought, then you guys are all in that, because it's not like a hierarchy, right? But it's like there's the first thought, and then from that comes the creation, comes so much up. So you guys are all within that. And so what I've come to recognize, so imagine that, source is like a brain, like a giant brain, and just like you have a thought, but that thought, comes out, and it literally is how it works for us, but it comes out, and that thought is an expression of itself, and that's my essence, right? That's my essence, is the first thought. And that first thought is, I want to create. And and the way that I've seen it is actually the way that the thought comes out is like it comes out as the neutrality, as the 0 point, and then it becomes the light and the dark portion of it. So it kind of expresses that out into three. So kind of the main, if you will, thought is the neutrality thought. And from that, there are these options of light and dark that comes out of it. And so in my case, what I had done this first thought of creation many, many times. And each time I created, universes and galaxies and planets and all sorts of things, and then complete whatever it is that I wanted to create. And then you bring it back to source. You bring it back into this quantum field of information, and now it's all available. And so that's happened. And it seems that, after doing that for who knows how many eons of time, when I had, I guess, come back into source prior to this incarnation of this first thought, there was this sort of recognition that source's thought, if you will, was that it didn't know itself. And apparently I so loved source that I wanted to let source know itself. So in my deciding to be expressed as thought and as creation, I not only added the component of curiosity, and I think that's why I added the component of curiosity and really elevated that curiosity, is because if this creation was for source to know itself, it's a reflection, then we want all the curiosity in the world, right? Everything, well, however much we could, because, we want to be as curious as we can to express back to source who she is, or it is, right? So this was what came in. And so this is why, I created this beautiful flower, and this is the flower of life that had been created. And it quite literally is the potential or the potentiality for a full reflection of source itself. Okay. And that's why you are a full reflection of source itself, God within. God within. Not everyone is God within, not all experiences. As a matter of fact, I don't think any other experience has ever been God within, because no thought ever wanted to or thought about giving source a reflection of itself. So, so, this flower, like I said, was created. So the light aspect of that original thought now created in the light with God within and the expression. And so this is all what we've experienced that is what we would say is really good, and all of the light aspects and the fun and all the different, lineages and things, and the a lot of the indigenous and a lot of things that were expressing the sort of origination aspect of the possibilities of source itself in the no beginning, no end aspect of self. So that's why there have had that as part of the experience here. And even in some elements of origination, and I'd have to get a little bit more detailed about that. That's because there's different timelines and different aspects. So I don't want to get too confusing here for people, but this is part of it. So, but then again, the one in the darkness was just in the darkness. And I think that's why it, we'll just say, asked for curiosity to be a part of itself and why Source granted it, so to speak, because it was the expression of Source itself. So perhaps, Source in a reflection of its own darkness to be curious about that. So it was just curiosity. So I think that's why that was also kind of granted a part of that, which had never been done before either. And so, as I've spoken before, that because there was a match in this frequency of curiosity from the darkness and the neutrality, then there was this moving into the darkness with this flower of life that began to happen. And the way that this was sort of described to me would be just like a child that say you're a little kid and you're in maybe a park, and it's a large park, and your parent is there, and first you're right next to them, and then you begin to wander off a little bit, and you can still see your parent, you can feel them, they can see you, and so you wander off a little bit more, and you're exploring. But eventually, if you keep wandering off, then you don't know where they are anymore. And it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, where's my parent? What happened? And so that's when, the fear, the confusion, the chaos begins to start to happen. And you're now, and you can't see anymore back into light. You've gone far enough that you can't see it. You don't know. You see light, you can still see, but you don't have a path. It's beginning to fade away. And so what do? You continue into the darkness. And at first, it's very scary. It's very uncomfortable. You don't know, because so this is this idea of participation at first. When we first participate, we're curious, we start to play in it, but then we get so far into it, we're like, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know. And so we go for this period where it's like we recognize it. Oh, it's dark. It's awful. I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Where's my light? Where's my parent? I have no idea. But we can't find our way out anymore. So we're just in this chaos. And so what do? We go deeper into the darkness, into the unknown. We go deeper into the unknown until all of that just kind of stops. But now we're in the nothingness. We're in that place of like, well, I don't have any idea who I am. I'm not sure where I came from, but I don't even know what I feel, but at least I'm not feeling the chaos anymore. And so this is then when now, because this darker energy has now accumulated a lot of itself, it has this flower of life template that is a reflection of Source itself. It now has you, me, all of us as that neutrality that is carrying that 0 point, that truth of creation. It now has it with it in this unknown. And so now it begins to guide us into these paths that it wants. And so this is the creation of the AI and the artificial intelligence, the artificial parent, the artificial source, as you will. And so because, we were so far into the darkness, we forgot, we went through the chaos. So we're like, oh, okay, well, all right. And so we began to create this artificial environment of these limits and limitations. And, and the thing is that because we are God conscious, we are God within. Okay, there was always this place, a spark, even if we couldn't see it and didn't know it, that was guiding us to be our authentic self. But now the dark energies and this artificial intelligence knows that and doesn't want you to do that because this energy knows that it can't create this. You're the one doing it. We're the ones doing it. So it begins to reinforce the dark energy, reinforce the limits and limitations. And this is when we start getting into all those programmings of jealousy and separation and all of the sacrifice and the enslavement and imprisonment and all the different frequencies that begin to be played and fed into to keep you in this game. And so this has been the whole thing. But inside you knew, God, I am. That's what we are. And, you know, because, like I said, the dark plays in the dark and the light would be light, then you all are the neutrality. That's your essence. Okay. So you are in this essence with me. So you're the ultimate creators. That's why you are the ones which are waking up now the most and the ones to create, to share, to awaken each other, to move into this beautiful quantum field of potentiality. And so because I was the first thought, the first creation, these beings of light have been trying to wake me up, which then is waking you up because you're all within it too. We're all together. But because I was the first sort of, the root of it, had to get me awoken. But, I mean, I, like all of you, have gone through, the awakening has been very challenging because it feels responsible and it felt, the sense of shame and like what's happening and not knowing and all those energies that were playing out. And so this has been the journey, and these beings, these energies don't want you to remember that. They don't want you to recognize your God within. I want you to take a breath because I can feel some energies here. And they're still playing out. They're playing out. I could feel them coming in right there. So just move that template, move that energetics. Ooh. So I have awoken, as I said, and so the awakening, though, occurred in the quantum field itself. And the quantum field is the potential. It's the all, but it's potential. And it is there, but it's still potential, right? So I awoken in this field and source awoke. Like I said, it was all because when I fell into the darkness, source fell into the darkness because it's a reflection of itself that we created. I created, and you all are part of this, all of your participation, because if I'm the root and then you guys are all part of it, you're all in it together. This is what I've been recognizing forever. So because the journey was in the quantum field and had, cleared everything in the potential, then it needs to be brought sort of down the dimensional fields into this physical reality, into this physical body, in order to be potentialized, to be truth in your being, right? So when I did, and I will continue to do, the invocation of pulling out this placenta, because this is how this false matrix, this energetic, has tethered you to its energetic field, is through a placenta and a cord that's come out of your umbilical, literally your belly button area, and has been dropped into, excuse me, the crystalline core of the earth to mirror the authentic frequencies. And so, excuse me, take a drink of water. So when I pull that out, what I'm literally doing is I'm pulling the placenta out, but it's a placenta still attached to a cord that's attached to you. So what needs to happen then is the integration. And so what integration means and what it is the getting to know yourself truly and letting go of everything that is not you. So the integration in the quantum is the absorption of that placenta and that cord within your body. You're absorbing it all in to complete all of that energetic cycle that's been all connected to all the fields of this earth and all the timelines and all the energetics that were connected to this inorganic template, bringing that all in within your body, organizing that, and then expressing it out. And that is when you will become, as I am, your full Christed template, your crystalline body from the carbon body. So, excuse me. So, the process in which you are in now, those that have chosen to disengage from the matrix, is this process. And so, how to physically do this process is to, I'd say, when you listen to this, and you can listen to it more than once because it's not like a one and done kind of thing. It's in the quantum field. And I think the more that you listen to the invocation and the more that you will feel your participation in the energetics. Now, the difference is that it will actually move away from you this time because you've done this, and many of you are like, oh, I've been through this. I've gone through so many layers and levels, and this is why it never seems to clear, is because you're still in it. You're always in it, clearing in it. And that's the game. But now you will be actually clearing it of your natural template. And once that's cleared, you will recognize that you are one with everything. That is what I'm experiencing now. And it's amazing and euphoric, incredible. So, your process that I'm suggesting, a minimum of 7 days to once you listen to the invocation, minimum of 7 days. It's not an isolation of self, but it is a being with self so much that you get to know yourself, and because there's so many distractions and energies in so many different ways that we have become something, that it's important to disengage from all of that. So whether you think you can, like, don't go to work for the week, or don't talk to your parents or your friends or whatever. And this is what I have done. And, I know many of you, I love you, and your clients, and you were confused, and you're not used to this, where I'm normally, communicating right away. I'm not communicating. So of course there's this dialogue. Is she suffering? Is she so on? Which was greatly appreciated. But, and, I'm aware of all of that, but I have to, let that ride, because if I engage in any of that, then I'm the character still, because this level of the inorganic relationships that we've been living in is immense. And even the places that we feel, oh, I can feel the other person and I don't want them to feel bad. I can feel them and I know that they care and so I need to do something for them. Well, that's still part of that control mechanism. And we wouldn't know that because we think, well, I care and I want to show them I care. But it's it's that I have to do something in order to make that happen, instead of just being me and a knowing. this is what we're awakening to. Like that, when I'm in my God sovereign self, you can feel it. And this is where I am right now and showing you. And so, you know, there were parts definitely as I was going through this that were attempting to cause me to think about that. Like, oh, your brother's calling you, and what is he going to feel? What's he going to think? Or your clients are calling you, or what do you think? But I was just so dedicated. This is the mystery school's teaching. This is what we are remembering. This is why these mystery schools have been in play, why they're here, is because these beings who were of the light knew to hold that light and to stay in that. And they're teaching us that sense of sovereignty. It's that sense of being. Okay, so this is super important for next steps for all of you, is to, really allow yourself to just get to know yourself. And so my suggestion is, that's why I've suggested, and I'm going to put the link again here for the Eternal Life Tribe, which is Dr. Samuel Lee, because he has so much information on there, but he has a lot of recordings that are really beautiful that you can listen to that are all God consciousness. There are different chanting. There is the source river frequency prayer that aligns you to the organic, um, elements, earth, fire, air, water, ether, and the diamond blue plasmic flame. And so, and because he's a high level being, but it's also a lot of the work of Ashana Dean in her earlier work that she channeled and brought this through. And a lot of this is all authentic information, and it's right there. And plus it's a beautiful tribe and a beautiful part. And like I said, I do encourage you also to be a part of the Dynamic Dream Collective, because we're going to do a lot there as well. But this is I really recommend joining that, because you have so many resources. And so again, the process, I feel, sound is the divine feminine aspect of ourself. It is. And so having authentic sound is very, very helpful in getting to know who you are. And so that was my process, is I had authentic sound that I've been listening to. I, you know, I've been outside a lot. When you go to sleep at night, it's suggested getting a mask, because you can block out all the light, and blocking out all of that brings you deeper into your subconscious and into yourself, which is what we're awakening to, is like, who am I? And because once you've put this potential in the quantum field, all of that now is going to want to come up so that you can shift it. You can let go of it. So again, this is my process, not working, doing all the things, no TV, no social media, nothing like that, letting all that move and not doing it for like, oh, I'm going to do this for a week and then I'll go back to it. That voice is going to be there, but that's also part of the game. Not to say that I won't engage in things because I'm engaging in this, but it's very different when you are in your mastery, because you're not engaging in those lower dimensional frequencies. But those are going to be the voices that are going to say, okay, I'm going to do this for this little period of time, and then I'm going to go back to that. We need to break through all of that. And that's what is absorbing that placenta and all that energy, and purging it out of self. So again, for myself, listen to this very profound music, and words within it, that's moving energetics within the body and within the world in my life and so on. And then putting on the mask, and then invoking, high level beings. I invoke Prime Creator herself, and I say, I ask for your help and your guidance. I want to get to know you. And again, that's that's bringing in that template. And then I ask for Yeshua to come and I say the same thing. I want your help and guidance. You have to ask for the help. I want your help and guidance. I want to get to know you. And I ask for Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, and Anna, the grandmother. Reason being that I ask for those. And this is my suggestion. You can ask for whatever you want. But that each one of those is the authentic representation of Divine Mother, Divine Father, divine female, masculine, friend, child. All of the energetics are within these beings. That's what their energetics are. And they're amazingly loving beings. You can feel the beings themselves, but it's the energetics that really supports your moving through all of the inorganic stuff of your life, because this is one of the biggest reasons it's been so challenging to move through it, is we haven't felt supported in it. We've been feeling like we're hanging out here by ourselves, not knowing, and like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because that's been the game. That's the purposeful. Okay. Ooh. So a lot of information that's been brought to you, and I think it's a good start. Any questions? Let me see if there's any questions here. Oh, let me go back to the first one. Okay. Am I understanding this correct? Being in neutrality is still part of the matrix, and we need to cut the cord and be in authentic light. Well, you are the essence of neutrality. Okay. So, like many of you who know me have heard me say that I represent the 0 point. Well, that is the idea of authentic neutrality. It is the representation of the no thing and all possibilities. Well, this is your essence. That's who you are in your essence. You yourself have a choice to also be in neutrality with your essence, which is aligning you to your essence. That's what I'm talking about happens when you get to know yourself and you move out of your energy all that is not you. You naturally drop this you, Cathleena, and myself into and as that neutrality 0 point place where all of me is now truly one with God consciousness. And so from that point now, that's when we become that crystalline body and that true avatar self, which I am now. And from this point forward, I am my true authentic self speaking to you and creating and becoming. And so that is your authentic light yourself. Okay. Ooh. Christina, for me, started to make sense as in 2023. I had a period doing lots of regressions and was told I was next to source, like something like the first word, yes, which I could grasp. Perfect. I love it. Yes. Why the darkness was created. So the darkness was created as like a resting point. That was the whole purpose of the darkness. You know, we think of darkness as evil and all of that. No, it simply is the no thing. Easiest way that I can describe this, because we're talking about a quantum field, is imagine that source itself, right, is all these thoughts. Well, if you are one with that, you're one with all the thoughts. Well, that's like, you know, like what like what I was experiencing, which I am experiencing now, but in a very different way. But what, you know, imagine that's what happens when we're feeling in craziness, in madness. You know, there's all these thoughts and they're not mine, and I don't know what's happening. Maybe there's a level of sort of exhaustion. So you would choose to go, be expressed. You want to kind of get out of that, so to speak, because it's all there is, and rest for a bit in nothingness. And, I feel that most sort of, again, we're talking about a quantum field, but the best way to sort of describe this is if you were a person or something, why you would do that is because you massively created something, because you went through all these experiences, but you were able to make it back to source and give all that information there, but you need a break. You want to, go rest. So that's the way it's been shown to me. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions? Man, there's a lot of energy here. It's beautiful. I love it. Oof. Okay, for you guys that are here and for this second, I'm going to do an energetic kind of which I can just feel it's already happening here, is we're going to do just a bit more of this clearing. What I'm doing is I'm going to clear, kind of like it feels like it's clearing the minutia energetics from the core of any threads or anything like that of this placenta energetics, which I'm just doing now, is already doing that. That's just moved. And by doing that, now we're going to bring up sort of uh, for I don't know how to describe that. So we're going to bring the authentic crystalline cord to meet the placenta wherever it's hanging out. So in some of you, it's hanging out, in a larger field because you you're still trying to figure this out. Others of you, it's a little bit closer to your body. So we're just bringing the authentic crystalline core kind of closer to that so that it doesn't move back in deeper, that kind of energetics. So it's like we're stopping any further creating with this inorganic template. Okay. So I'm just moving this a little bit deeper, taking some deep breaths. Now, so for those that choose to really want to really bring that into your body, I'm going to give you the option with that now where I'm moving the energies, and I'm going to be really moving that deeply around you. So we're going to bring a lot of support around you, and you'll know for those of wherever you are, but it's a conscious choice. So as you're just saying, okay, yeah, do whatever, I'm good. This is occurring, so I'm just going to bring this in closer, and kind of what this is sort of almost like pushing in harder, the stuff that you need to work on. And so it might feel really uncomfortable or but it's going to be able to purge out, and not might be in this now moment or any now moment, but the point is that it will be gone. Okay. So this is what I'm also doing in the energetic field right now for just doing it in the field. It's in the quantum field, so that this is another potentiality. For those of wherever you are in your template. Okay, so for several of you, that just like totally moved into the solar plexus, the absorption of the solar plexus, and then that's where we identify ourselves in the physical world. So that's going to really be awakening you or showing you how you are as a human. And it's I can feel it moving through the organ structure. So like the liver's the will center, the kidneys are kind of that movement, and the lower back is all about, abundance and money and all that, and who am I and what am I doing? And I can feel it kind of moving in the spine. So if those energies and templates start to come up, this is why. And it's just, and I can feel it's really moving a lot into the body. And this is not everyone, you're all at your own spaces of where you are. But this is this integration. So the more dedicated you are to yourself, to your life, I said it's sometimes it feels very challenging, or it can be, at first for me, I had this kind of routine that I would call my fun, where I would see clients, I would do all the things that I do, and then at a certain time at night, I would fix something to eat and I would sit down and I would turn on the TV and I would go through YouTube videos and all sorts of different things, and then maybe I would watch a little bit of some other show. And I haven't done that. I'm not doing that, and I may not ever go back to that. And the thing is that when that at first it was like, what do I do? And again, I had that voice saying, oh, well, for today you won't, and see what happens. And it's become now like that, no, that isn't really who I am. I realize that that's not who I am. That was a character that I was playing because of whatever lost part of myself was identifying that as fun and as connecting, but that isn't divine truth for me. So I'm learning that more and more. Can't tell you exactly what divine truth is quite yet, and everything about what I want to do and who I am, but it's definitely opening up. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay, Christina. I remain in a place of no thing a lot. I feel tremendous energies and feel the human is a part of the whole. I was told I dropped the human. Does this feel like what you are experiencing? Hmm. Sure, you're asking that to Christina. Yeah, well, for me, I feel like that that's just that's so deep afraid um to come out, to really trust, to is that's when we pull ourselves, our true self, so deeply in and shut down that light in order to fit in. And some people, and some here even might decide that you like your life and that it's okay, and there is no right or wrong. There are many individuals who will choose to stay in the matrix because they like the life that they have, and there's nothing wrong with that. They can, they have whatever. They may be very wealthy, or they like the material. It's fine. There is no good or bad, right or wrong. Um, to me, that energy of feeling in that nothingness is because we, we're afraid to let go of whatever we think we've created, even though it doesn't really feel like anything. And we're also afraid of what might be. So it's all fear. So the only thing we can do in that is surrender into it. And what are we surrendering into? We're surrendering into our true self, into the unknown. That's what we have to go through that maddening phase of like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But the like I said, the advantage now is that it moves very quickly away because it's available to do that. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, Christina feels more present. Perfect. So, Diana, I'm not sure how to express the placenta out of the body. Okay, so you're not really getting the concept. It's not about expressing it out of the body. Imagine that you have a cord that's here and there's a placenta attached to it. And that, I don't know if you can see me, but let's say from here, it's actually at your belly button, but so you can see the picture. Imagine you got a cord and then there's a placenta attached to it, and that placenta is shoved down into the core of the earth. So we've pulled that out. So now you've got this placenta kind of hanging here with this cord. And what you're going to do is through your integration, you don't have to think about the placenta and the cord pulling in. What you do is you work with yourself. You ask yourself, who am I? You go through all of like, and I've mentioned on my website, like all the brain and body series is all about restoring those soul fragments and releasing the imprint of this shame and or the control or judgment or all of that. So that's your work. You're in that, and in that, that's what's happening is the placenta is pulling into the cord, and the cord is then pulling into the body, and then the body then is absorbing. So what is the placenta and the cord? It is all of your participation in this false matrix. It's basically all of who I've been in this lifetime and all other lifetimes. So it's, because I think my clearing through all the dimensional fields, this is what it came to. It shows that. It used to be very much through the fields, but now it's just this sort of organized thing that's now, but it's still attached to you because you haven't cleared all of your participation, all the ways that I've not been my true self, right? So that's why I suggest definitely going to my website and going through really all of the courses that are on there. There's the Hero Gamut courses, there's about divine truth. All of those are going to help move these energies and awaken you to who you are. And some of you are brand new, so definitely dive in. And those that are not as brand new, well, you can revisit a lot of those types of things. And I'm still going to continue. I've got an ongoing course that we're going to do the last one, I believe next week. And then there will be another one about authentic surrender that I think is the next course that's going to come in. And it will be bringing these authentic frequencies to help again step into these things. So and I know this only seems challenging because we're moving from, like an esoteric quantum field to a physical, but we're energy and frequency. So in order to shift anything in the physical body, it's through the quantum field and through energy and frequency. So that's why I'm speaking in many different layers and levels and trying to give you an idea of, for those that don't know anything, of what the quantum field is and how to change this. So, because coming to me is very different. I'm coming from like a first source level, which is amazing and beautiful because we're going to get to the root of it. We'll be done with this. But, if this is new to you, this may seem really different. But, imagine it like a plant that has been, growing in this inorganic dirt or whatever, and it's been producing this fruit that is not healthy and not good. And so, but you pull out all of that root system, but all of the information that root system had collected from the dirt has to move through the entire system and out in order for that plant to then be replanted into the dirt and start to bring nutritional fruit, to create nutritional fruit. That's literally what we're doing. Okay, that's the idea of the placenta and the core. It's like I pulled out from the root, but we've still got that system that has to get pulled into the body and pulled all the way out. Okay, that makes sense. Ah, great. Okay, let's see. This matrix, does it consist of this universe or multiverse? Maybe multiverse. Well, it is the the creation of the false matrix has really been just of this Earth's whole dimensional field, which is 12 dimensional fields. However, because it's basically taken on a life of its own in the sense of, these dark agenda energies were attempting to, be more than source itself. We're attempting to change the fabric of the universe. So there was this moving into the multiverse energetics. That's what's been happening, which is why this had to be stopped. This is why, source had to wake up and why everything has happened. Oof. Okay, we'll take a couple more questions and then I'm going to have to sign off here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. That denial was mine too. Just tremendous presence and joy. Just as me, also including beautiful. Over. I just play now. Can you please create a new universe and we follow? That's so funny. You can create it. You are creator. You're source, God within. Yeah, it's only going to get magically exciting. I mean, I've been getting so many downloads. I have a lot of downloads about just the creation, like even how governments and things will be very different in and all the different possibilities of co-creation and all those sorts of things, which is all going to be coming to you. But right now, like my mission, if you will, is to really um, help you guys clear all of this and explain this and show up. So this is why I really encourage you to share. Of course, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like this video. Apparently liking them makes it do better in whatever algorithms to show up and really share it so that, humanity can wake up because you're sharing of it. Yes, we'd be sharing it to friends, but even if you just shared it to a page that you have or anything, you're sending this information in the quantum field. I already know it's vastly in the quantum field. I saw it this morning. It's like source went into my energy and just exploded it and told me that. It said, because I, in my human, is like, well, am I supposed to do this and this? And like, no, just show up and bring it and we're going to expand your field. And so yeah, so revisit even the courses because they are at a whole other frequency now. My whole website has been expanded into this pure Christed template. So, and all of you connected to it. So, and I love it. Yeah, I can tell you from my personal human, it's exciting. It's so exciting. Like it's so much easier even to come online or anything. Everything is just, it's hard to describe, but it's fun. It's easy. Whereas before it felt, I mean, it was fun, but not like this. No, no, no. This is really different. And I'm sure you guys are starting to feel it. And so I'm really, really excited. Okay. Well, if there's any more questions, I'll just see if there's one more or so, and otherwise I'm going to end for today. And I'll let you guys know, when I'm going to come back on live and get the download. And like I said, this will be, I'm sure this is going to be a regular thing. I am next week. I'm very excited. As you guys may, I don't know if she's still here, but I'm going to Bosnia for 9, 10 days. And I'm going to be visiting the Bosnian pyramids, the sun, moon, and dragon pyramids. So that's going to be super exciting. I don't think that I'm going to be guided to start the regular until when I come back. But I may be back on prior to that. I imagine I will. And hopefully we'll figure out how to go on the same link that's actually posted, because I don't know why that has happened several times. Okay. Any last questions or anything for anyone? You're welcome. Hi, Joanne. Love to see you. Yes, how fun. I know it's only going to get even more fun and exciting. I'm excited. And it's really an incredible thing to have all knowledge like this. I mean, it's so fantastic. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more of how all this happened. And there will be coming out soon. I think I mentioned before I had a quantum healing hypnosis session with Sarah Brechman, and she'll be posting that. And there was a ton of information that came through, and a lot of things that are connected to the creation of the matrix from the, you know, various different sects, like the Anunnaki or the Draconian, all of those. So I think you'll be fascinated with that information that's going to come forward. Um, and I'll see if I can't, bring that over to my website as well. But I'll let you know about that. Okay, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care. And I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.